Hello and welcome to Tabletop 24. I'm down at Manor Screw with one of the local players, Terence. Part of the Manor Screw Crazy Brew crew down here. Just wanted to talk to him about some of the pre-release stuff that he's picked up for the Tales of Aria, his journey in Flesh and Blood, why he hopes to go forward, and have a general chit-chat. So, a couple of pre-releases over the weekend.
Yeah.
How did they go for you?
Yeah, all right. It was being new to the game and being new to limited in the game as well. The first pre-release wasn't amazing. I was just getting to know the set. I'd watched a few videos, but I hadn't really absorbed it as well as I thought I had. So yeah, I had one win and a few losses, but I had to start getting an understanding of the set by that point. So. And I'd booked myself in for 3 for Friday night and 2 on Saturday as well.
Nothing like punishing yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm grinding, so yeah.
And we'll get onto that grinding in a bit. But so, what was the biggest sort of hit for you over the weekend?
In terms of what the
cards or heroes?
It was interesting because I got to play against all the heroes on Friday night, so I got to see a bit of what they could do. Moving into Saturday morning, I had a bit more knowledge, so I thought, and my pool wasn't really gearing towards any particular hero. It just felt a bit like, eh. So I thought, okay, well, let's go with Lexi. It felt like the strongest. Oldhim. It felt like the strongest to start with, and it pulled off some really cool stuff. Like some of the attacks Oldhim can do are pretty brutal, and creating the frostbites as well. So that was quite good, and it was also quite interesting using his ability to basically stop a second attack. So if someone's got go again or whatever, they attack, use his defense reaction with an ice card. They have to put a card from their hand on top of their deck. Yeah. So they got one less card, which is usually the card they're waiting to pitch to attack with their weapon when they're playing Briar or with Lexi, obviously, to do more arrowy stuff. So yeah, so in terms of like things that really stood out, I would say the abilities, there's some fun stuff that can be done, and I'm looking forward to really making some mean ice stuff.
Yeah, so I think on this set there's been a bit of a ramp up on a little bit of complexity, but also the sort of the draft and analysis have been banging on the fact that this is the most draftable set when you see that with the elements. Being a relatively new player, did you find that there was a big leap in this set?
In terms of what?
Complexity and just a bit more to it?
It feels like it's more combo-y. It's hard for me to judge as a new player, but from the knowledge I've got so far, it feels like this set is very combo-y. It definitely felt like you could have a turn off and it wasn't actually as detrimental as it could be in older sets. But yeah, complexity is definitely a good word, because you do have to do a bit of setting up if you want to get some big turns. You can just attack, my third pre-release. We'll talk about that in a moment. But that one, that was more just, there was a bit of comboing and a bit of doing stuff, more complex stuff. But ultimately it came down to just attacking. So yeah, but all in all, the set's got a lot of moving parts. Yeah. Each hero has got a lot of moving parts and a lot of bits and bobs they can do.
Yeah. So I sense, obviously, we'll talk about the third pre-release, and there's a little bit of a gem and icing on it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I aimed to get 2 wins per pre-release. I've been happy with that. So I'd had 1 win on Friday night, got 1 win on the Saturday morning, and went into the third one just hoping to get a pool that was definitely clear towards a hero, and preferably Briar, because Briar had the arcane damage and is very strong and limited. So yeah, went into it, opened my packs. It was clearly a Briar pool, so I was like, cool, I'm just rolling with it. Roll with it. A lot of good red stuff. I would say one of the cards that was an absolute powerhouse in the set for the Runeblade, for Briar in particular, is Bramble Spark. Great little card that you can just put a couple of those down for 0 cost and make your next attack quite big. So that was pretty good. And also, if you play 2 of them, you get yourself an embodiment of lightning token. So you do your attack, which has then activated your weapon to do the arcane damage. You've got your go again on your attack, so it just played really nicely, lent itself well, and the cards were drawing well. So yeah, it was really, Bri was great, and I went four games undefeated going into the 5th round. I was the only person undefeated going into the 5th round. Went in and played Stevo in the 5th round. Really close game. Ended up dying to a defense reaction, which did one arcane damage. So that was very, very tight game, but lost that one. So went 4-1, and there was 5 players that were 4-1 throughout the event. And the way the algorithm works is, or the system works is, the earlier in the event you lose a game, the worse your standing is. So I ended up winning the whole event, which was my first event win, and pretty good feeling. So yeah.
And obviously you got a nice map with that as well.
Yeah.
And that's good. And I think probably and this will get really down to why that probably meant so much to you, is you started off July time, was it?
August the 22nd. I've been keeping count.
Okay, so it started in August 22nd.
Yeah, so 29 days now I've been playing.
Yeah, so and part of that is obviously you've been giving yourself a bit of a goal to get to Nationals. Now, when you joined, you didn't know what the criteria for Nationals was going to be. You just wanted to play some cards, and then we found out quite soon after that there's 2 ways to get into Nationals, and one of those was the Road to Nationals, and then obviously it's going to be the leaderboard rankings for that.
Yeah.
So I think you've given yourself a bit of a personal target on that.
Yeah, so what got me into the game was actually your stream of the Road to Nationals event here at Manascrew, and I had it on in the background and was just pottering about the house. But the stream was really cool, and it drew me into the game, and I was watching the game. I was thinking, this game is a really cool game. And really enjoyed watching it. I had no clue about how it worked or anything, but I got a good understanding of just watching it, and I thought, wow, this seems really cool, like really nicely designed. Looks like, they're always doing something. No one didn't feel like anybody was mana screwed or anything like that, like in Magic, for example. So the very next day I was coming to play Magic, I said to Mark that I wanted to come and try Flesh and Blood. And then met you guys, met all the community. I already met yourself anyway, I knew you, but got involved with the community, got some cards, started building the deck, and then everybody was talking about qualifying for Nationals. So I looked at the leaderboards and found out what the qualification was, asked loads of questions. Everybody's been really helpful, and it was only at 31 or 33 XP to qualify.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder, as a new player, can I do it? Yeah. So I thought, let's try, and that was it. So my first armory was the 22nd of August, and I played Prism, and I've just been playing Prism since then, tweaking, learning, improving, and I've had some brilliant games, learnt a lot. I'm now 100, as of this evening, not including this evening's event, 105th placed. And if I get a couple more wins over the next few events leading up to the end of September, fingers crossed, I should qualify and get there. But it's been one hell of a journey. I even drove to Glasgow to do the very last Road to Nationals, because I thought, well, there might be a chance I get top 4. If not, if it's a really quiet community. Turns out a lot of the well-known top 50, a few of the top 25, top 50 players came up from London as well. There was only 3 people from Glasgow there. But the other 30 or 29 of us, I think it was, were all from all over the place. So it was a good day, really good games. Again, learning more about the game as I go, and ended up getting 3 wins there, which was again another solid amount of XP to keep climbing and climbing. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're in that window now where you've got that. The positive is there's going to be some people that have died off and said, "Oh, Nationals not for me. I'm not going to grind it out. I'm not going to push." So you've got some of those that are dropping off. But I think, and I've seen it for myself. You said there, we've gone from sort of 30 XP to qualified to sort of now we're getting into the 80s, 90s.
It's like 71 now, I think. Yeah.
So actually getting to that point now is you really got to stretch yourself to get there. So it's I can see it's a grind, and I can see you putting in the time, and obviously you've been running Prism, and I can see you changing that deck pretty much weekly.
Pretty much, yeah.
To build it up, and you come from nothing. And I think the first few games you had with it, you liked it, you was interested in it. I think it took you a while to get the swing with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've been obviously running quite well with that, and you've got a good grasp of the game. So
Yeah.
I wish you all the luck for
Thanks
getting
very
there.
much.
So
Yeah.
the next few weeks. So
Thank you
thank you
very
again for popping on for a bit of a quick chat.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best for that, and then hopefully we'll see you at Nationals.
Well, thanks for creating your content. If it wasn't for your stream, I literally wouldn't have got into the game. Like watching that stream all day, and it was pulling me away from doing chores because I was really interested. I was like, okay, this is cool. So yeah, if you hadn't have done that, I wouldn't be here right now. So
There you go.
thanks a lot.
So this content will actually distract you from your chores or give you something else to look at. So,
Perfect.
there we are. So thank you, and take care, and we'll see you next time.
Brilliant. Thanks,
Cheers.
Alan.
Take care.